And hello to all my Sagittarius friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for Sunflowery September 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you guys a 4-corner spread. It is very good for general readings because it looks at the 4 main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your work corner, your financial corner, your health corner, and the ever popular love corner. So we're going to take a brush through all 4 of those for you guys. They've asked that I conclude your reading with no extra at the end. So when that happens, one of 2 things. Either you guys are really good, you don't need the extra advice, or they just want to focus on the meat and the potatoes, that there's a lot in this spread. So we're going to get into that. Also going to conclude your reading with a rune stone. That'll cap the whole thing off. Also need to tell you about this wonderful display right here. So we have a lot to chat about, Sagittarius. Let's get started right now, shall we? The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us a bunch of time. What I'm going to do right now is bring you in so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great September. And we are on, live and recording. What I'm doing now, guys, these are my ritual cuts. Basically cutting each deck into 3 different pieces and putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure for personal private readings. And then the decks are ready to go. So up here is, we're going to start with work corner. This is work corner stuff here. Chatty group. I believe that's all in view. Let's move over here. This is love corner. Also a big theme. This one's much larger, actually. Got some people cards coming in there. Going to have to pull some extras there, too. Down here is financial. That one's short and sweet. And then down here at the bottom corner is our health corner. Health corner, also lots to talk about there. All right, I need a couple cards just to verify if we're talking about a person here. We are. And if we're talking about a person here. And we are not. That one goes away. All right, so now, inverts. 2 out of 3, even, good. Good there. This is the only one that's a little bit blocked. It's actually not that bad. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. Actually, I will do discard just to make sure. Got to be sure for you guys, and that read the way it was, so I was feeling correctly about that intuitively. Okay, so that one's good to go. We are all set except for one angel card right here. And now we are ready, guys. Okay. Now it's just a matter of making sure you can see it all. I think we did a good job of getting it on screen. Yep, that's pretty good. Let's get to work, Sagittarius. Let's do it. If the phone will turn off. There it goes. All right. I'm going to love corner is the big one. We're going to save that for last. That way we can devote the most time, effort, and energy into it. That's what it deserves. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to actually go, let's go finance and work first. I'm actually going to hit work first. This was the one that they wanted a little bit blocked, a little bit elusive still here. There's a lot of moving parts here for some of my Sagittariuses in the work corner. There's some new money that first comes in that's blocked. So if you're waiting for some money, especially if it's from new revenue streams, it may be on a delay. Maybe September is not when this has come into fruition. Maybe October, or maybe it's coming in now, the notification that you're going to get some more money soon here, but you got to wait for it. It's not here right now, more than likely. So that's one of the couple main reasons why new money would be coming in blocked. That card can also be in regards to health, but usually in the work corner, it's not about that. They're talking about, money here, the money that you're earning through your work corner. Your work corner is also a big place. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, learning anything new, entrepreneurship, basically the JOB, in a bunch of different ways under that there. So that can be, whatever you're at there is what we're talking about. For most people, this is just job stuff. Now, the next thing they show here is the moon card. It is inverted. Thankfully, they wanted to keep it that way. The moon card is much better when it's on its way out than coming in. Has nothing to do with the moon cycles, which we'll talk about later. But this is kind of the weird, funky energy here. The shady, mysterious, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Something with work here that is starting to get cleared up. You're starting to see more clearly here, or maybe the mystery of what it was before, or the weirdness is starting to dissipate and go away. So it's very good to see. What else can we say about that? It's starting to clear up. Now there is a part here, usually mental capacity here, that is really piercing for a lot of my Sagittarius. Some of you are struggling with something in regards to work here. Now, this may be very specific, or this may be very general themed. You may be a Sagittarius that just, you know what, I just really, this job is just not it for me anymore. It's messing up my head, my mental health is being affected here, and it's just a real pain in my butt. I really need to work towards something better. Or you could be the other kind of end of Sagittarius here and be like, you know what, this is just a pain in the butt right now. You know, maybe you have a tough week in September. Maybe you have a tough couple of days, and then it just kind of goes away. You know, the energy just doesn't stick around all month long, more than likely. So that's giving you an idea there of the different kind of frequency bands that Sagittarius can be popping in here with the work corner stuff. It is my Three of Swords, so this can be a card about heartbreak, but representative more of kind of the mental kind of heartbreak here. So it's hard on your mental capacity here. That's why we talked about that earlier in a pretty large regard here. So it's something that is having an effect on you here that is not necessarily pleasant. And like I said, this may be very short-lived for some of you. This may be a little bit longer, especially if this is like something where a work environment that you just don't like, okay, and may be sticking around longer. So it lets you know how to deal with it. It basically says, you know what, things are starting to clear up, and therefore, while it clears up with the moon card, you know, this heartbreak eventually is going to clear up too. You know, heartbreak's a strong word, probably not the right one to use for this deck especially, but this is just kind of like something that has a sting to it, a little bit of piercing effect here, just like the sword is like a very sharp object here. So it shows kind of piercing as far as not real, but mental in regards to your work corner. So it lets you know, you got a fight to be had there, and you can get through it just fine. Let's move on down to your finances here. The first thing they bring up here is a message that comes later. That's really no surprise. That kind of lines up to the new money they talked about there. So you kind of see some correlation going on there. There is a message coming in. This usually comes through the air. So this means it's either like an email, a phone call, or even like a text message would apply to message through the air. Page of Swords. In this deck, it's called the Princess, but it's the Page in other decks. So that's the energy of that. Now, they do talk about new ideas coming in the financial corner, so they'd like you to get inspired here to do something new with your money. Whether it's create a new account, like maybe it's time to do a savings account, maybe it's time to do a 401k, or invest in certain things, or maybe just to start saving, or the way that you spend your money, maybe adjust that, maybe to budget or something in regards to those things. This can be a wide variety of different inspiration. Of course, the context is going to be very different for everybody. A lot of great Sagittarius is tuning in here, but at the end of the day, this is a general reading. A lot of bubble energy here, and if you're looking for messages that are personal, private, and specific just to you, I offer a wide variety of different services on my website, scottsagent.com. This is new inspiration. It's kind of that light bulb effect going off. So this can even be new ideas coming to you that you haven't had before. So I would expect that in the month of September. Maybe not right now. You know, September is the entire month, the whole, 30 days of it. It's not all right now. So even if you're not inspired or you have no idea what I'm talking about now, give it some time. This is going to start making sense. Let's move into your health corner, guys. And then we're going to hit that love. The health corner is showing that you guys are doing a good job of balance here. The balancing act between one of them is the health corner, because that's what we're reading for, and the other one is a different area of life. Sometimes this can be work. I've seen work affect your health, affect people's health, but usually it's more family. It's the family dynamic, the love corner, the love relationship, or just like the family and close friends. Anybody close to your heart can come in with the love corner. We'll talk more about that when we hit it. But here they're showing, that this balancing act needs to continue. Okay, so if it's something that you've been doing good, which is where I lead, I feel like that's what they're talking about here, you need to continue that, because this balancing act can easily get unbalanced. So you need to constantly be doing this kind of like routine, this kind of like shuffling, juggling act, I guess is a better term for it. And you guys are doing a good job. So you're on the right path. You're doing very good in regards to your health, whatever it is that you're doing. This is good. Just don't get it out of whack. Make sure that the energy is spread around so that you're not putting too much time into your health and diet. Like the people that are at the gym for hours and hours and hours, that takes away from other areas of your life. If you're able to swing that balance, that's fine, but you don't want to be, for example, neglecting the home because you're getting your health straight. So that's what they show there. That's what we start with, at least. Now, they do show a message that comes in kind of on a delay or blocked here in regards to the love corner. So somebody that you love or care about. There's going to be a notification coming in maybe later in September about somebody you care about, and maybe something new with their health. So this could be positive or negative, really hard to say in a general, but what this is, let me give you 2 examples. This could be an example of like you finding out that your uncle just had a bad slip and fall, and he's all bruised up and hurt, and he had to go, to the hospital or something like that. That would be one version of a love message. Another version of a love message, like a family member coming in here, this could be like your sister saying, hey, you know what, I decided I'm going to start this new diet, and I'm going to start it this weekend. Is that something you want to join me doing? You want to do it together, something like that. So again, it's something to do with family, but it's coming up in the health corner. It may or may not affect you because it's family tied. It can really go either way with that. The last thing they show here is that you have the strength, guys. This is wonderful to see. Especially in this corner, very, very strong message popping up that you have all the tools here. You're not missing anything, which is wonderful. So Spirit is kind of looking at this like, well, if you got all the tools, you're like, what are you waiting for? You're ready to go here. So anything that you're trying to do with health, your health corner in general, September's looking pretty darn good to do so. And as long as you can keep the balance between the other corners of your life, I like the way it looks a lot. So be courageous. The strength card is a woman holding up a shirt with a lion on it here in this deck. So it's basically saying be courageous, go after it. You have everything you need. No reason to delay, no reason to procrastinate. September is as good a time as any for that. So speaking of a good a time as any, let's get into your moon cycles. That's going to correlate to a few of these different themes. Now, the first thing that hits is the full moon in September. That is on September the 10th. That is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit anymore, whether it be people, whether it be stuff you got to sell, stuff you got to donate, repurpose, even bad habits you got to kick, emotional, insecurities that you just got to overcome, or whatever it is for you that you just are trying to get out of your life. Doesn't matter what it is. The full moon helps you do that. That's right around the 10th. You don't have to do these things on the 10th. Anytime toward kind of the early part of the month is really good for that kind of stuff. I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Get it out with the garbage. So that's really that. Looking down your corners here, see what they were talking about for full moon energy. Get it out. The work situation for some of you could be some get it out energy. Really, we haven't hit a whole lot of that yet. So let's talk about the new moon. That's going to be a little bit more prevalent for my Sagittariuses in the month of September. New moon hits on September 25th. That's the best time to bring anything brand new into your life. Something that wasn't there before. Something brand new. Like we talked about the health thing. The notification that could be about you could be about a different family member. That would be something brand new. If, the diet or the exercise program or joining the gym wasn't there before, or even for some people I'm hearing now, like a vitamin regimen, like eating a certain way or taking a certain supplement, or even maybe moving on to a different medication. Maybe the old one didn't work good. Maybe we're going to try something new here. So that's the kind of stuff that's coming in for new moon, and that is placed September 25th. And you can take advantage of that, and it doesn't matter what it is. If you're trying to bring in new love, the back half of September is much better to do that. New finances, new stuff with work you're trying to do, all of it much better placed under the new moon. Now, if any of this confuses you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet that you can reference. It's a little visual aid or reference guide. That's on my website. It's free. It's parked on my videos page. You go to the bottom of the videos page there, check that out. It shows you the ebbs and flows, how the energy comes in and out, and that you can basically align certain things in your life to just make things run a little bit smoother. Smoother is always good. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. The newsletter sign up is at the bottom of every single page on the website. Just a few little details there and you're signed up. I give my newsletter people a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up to the newsletter. I take really good care of my people there. I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for updates, promo codes, save you guys money on great readings, stuff like that. Speaking of great readings, I have a brand new product that's launching right here in September. It is part of the mini audio bite-size series. Very affordable reading. It's a yes or no. It's a very specific, powerful reading because you get to ask a specific question. Spirit is going to guide you. Factors for yes, factors for no, and kind of hit you with a whole bunch of information and overwhelm you a little bit in a good way. Now, I put together a promo video for that if that's something you're interested in looking deeper into. That will be linked in the description here on YouTube, but check that out on the website as well. Speaking of things on the website, the shop just got a brand new product. I'm revealing one new product about every single month now, so this is the new one right here. I'm going to cut into that really just to talk to you about it, and then we're going to come back and hit your love corner and conclude your reading for September. Okay, guys, the time has come to unveil and reveal the brand new product. The Scott Sagent line here is now offering you, if you are sunflower obsessed like me and a lot of other spiritual people, we're going to talk more about the sunflower momentarily, but this, guys, is sunflower potpourri. To my knowledge, this is a niche item. I don't think it exists out there, at least not like this. This is produced in small batches, hand fragranced, a quarter-pound bag. It's your standard size potpourri bag, but this fragrance, I wish I could allow you to smell it through your computer, through your phone. Unfortunately, technology doesn't let us do that yet, so you're gonna have to take my word on this, but this thing smells. The aroma is dreamy. It is dreamy, it is heavenly, it is fragrant, the aroma is powerful but sweet. The sunflowers are not bulky enough to really make a true potpourri, so we had to use other items. But we captured the essence of the sunflower here by the color patterns, kind of the fall, a lot of the yellow, make it pop just like the yellow in the sunflower does. And what this is hand fragranced. So that means by hand, to make sure that the whole thing is fragranced, not just the top part, not just a little bit of it. So it's all hand kind of mixed there. And also, the high quality ingredients are in here. That's very important so that the potpourri doesn't mold. In fact, this is supposed to last 10 years or longer as far as the construction of it. Now, as far as the fragrance, that does eventually run out. We'll talk about that more momentarily too. It looks kind of small, but it actually lives very, very large. Let me show you how big this actually presents. This is a bowl that I just picked up at the dollar store. You're going to actually, if you're going to do it right in one bowl, you need a bigger bowl than this. This one doesn't quite cut it because I got all this went into this, plus this is left over. So there is a lot. So if I didn't overfill this one, you could definitely fill two of these bowls, almost to the brim. And, use this in two different rooms. This works best, guys, in any kind of small rooms here. It basically creates a scent for the entire room. And it's best in bathrooms, small little linen areas, or anywhere you just want to freshen up. It works best in a shallow bowl. It needs to be able to breathe. That's the key here. So you don't want to pack it down too tightly. This is packed tightly just for shipping reasons. But once you open it up, you set it up so it can breathe. The fragrance eventually goes away. Well, how long is that going to take? It's hard for me to say right now, but I'm estimating about 3 months. That's what good quality potpourri does. It lasts about 3 months. So that's what this is. And that's what we're expecting this to do and how to live. In about 3 months, let's say, the fragrance runs out, doesn't smell anymore. Well, that sucks. Now you got to buy another potpourri, right? No, you don't. Actually, with this is the sunflower spritzer bottle that is a separate product, but they're a team. They go together. This is a tandem here. And this is the same exact scent palette. The difference is that this is the strong stuff to last 3 months, and this is just more diluted. Now, the reason that's diluted is because it serves other purposes. This can be used as a room spray. You can freshen up your whole house by spraying a couple pumps of this stuff and make it last for days. You can, if you have cats, a couple sprays in the litter box. When that starts smelling bad, your house smells good again. If somebody stinks up the bathroom, you can use this for anything to make it smell better. And this is also skin friendly. People can wear this as, it's not as strong as a perfume, but it's more of the line of like a body spray, a body mister. You can actually wear it on yourself. But basically, the way that you refresh this, you can rejuvenate it instead of getting a new one or throwing it out. You can basically recycle this by all you do, take a big plastic bag, like a grocery bag, plastic, dump the whole thing in there, spray a good wet layer on the top of it with your mister, with your spritzer here. Good wet layer. Close that bag up, shake it up, put it back in your bowl, and you're good to go. You're good to go for at least another week or more. The sunflower is God's flower. It basically represents all the main characteristics of the year. What you got there are your 52 petals. That represents weeks in the year. Inside, you got your seeds. You got 365 in a perfect flower. And it also follows the Fibonacci sequence of the Fibonacci spiral, the way that the seeds kind of go around in a spiral. And also the leaves coming up the stems, there's supposed to be 12 in a perfect plant. That represents, you guessed it, the 12 months. So the sunflower kind of represents our cycle, and that is why it's called God's flower. You're going to love it, guys. Check it out. Okay, guys, we are back. It's love reading time or love corner time. Thank you for being patient. Here we go. We start with the Chariot card. This can be about a car or about transportation. That is one definition pool here that we can use. So that could be coming up for a family member or you, maybe something that you love, a car that you love, something like that. The other definition is that the energy, it's an energetic definition, and that is the energy is just way too scattered and it needs to be brought back in. I know these things sound nothing alike, but that's tarot for you. So this is the need to kind of hone the energy toward the family. The love corner, the family corner, another word for it, really needs the energy here in September. So they want to make sure that you're not spreading yourself too thin. Okay, so that is the advice if we're not talking about the car. Usually it's not both, guys. Now, a woman does come up here. That is part of this love corner. So I don't know if they're talking about, this is the tie-in from earlier when we talked about the correspondence for the health corner, about maybe somebody in your family. Maybe it's a woman that they're talking about. Or maybe there's something else with this woman that is going to be relevant. You know, like I would expect this to come up if like you haven't seen a sibling of yours for a while. It's just like, oh, well, now you're reacquainting here in September. Or, you know, maybe it's a friend that's a woman. There's a lot of different ways it can go. But just know that a woman is popping up in your love corner. If you are a male Sagittarius tuning into this, that could mean a bunch of different things. You know, that could even be like a romantic woman popping in here. More than likely, somebody that you already know, like, you know, not somebody brand new. Let's see what else we got here. We got the Prince of Pentacles here. That's the Knight in other decks. It's coming in inverted here. So there's an inaction in regards to money being moved here within the family. So I would be careful about loans this month, even car loans. I know we talked about car earlier. It could be tied in here. So there's money in action with the love corner. So it's not really the month to spend a lot of money with your family or things for the house, stuff like this. It's much better placed probably sometime else. Now, they do say spread your wings, so they're saying there's something here that they don't want you to hold back on that maybe you've been waiting on. I feel like this is not something to spend money on, though, guys. This is not like a project. This is like something you know, maybe it feels like a vacation, but like a free vacation. It's like just a car trip. What do they call them? Like car trip vacations on a tank full, you know, something that you can just go check out with the family and have a great time with very little out-of-pocket cost here. It really feels like that, but it could be a bunch of different things here. But anyway, when we have spread your wings, basically they're saying something needs to launch here. You're ready to go. You're like the baby bird that's just on the edge of the nest, and like you're ready to take off. So be brave, go after it. Just like they talked about in the health corner about the strength card. Here they give you spread your wings. So the love corner is very powerful for going after things, and that could be related to you can really relay that into the single game here too. My single Sagittarius is maybe it's a good month to really go after it, not necessarily spend the money on it though, so I wouldn't like put a bunch of money into a website or anything like that, but there's other ways to do that too. So gonna leave that there. I know we have been through a lot in your reading, guys. The last thing we need to do for you is the rune stone, and then we're ready to close it off. Been a good reading here for my Saggies, it always is. You guys are one of my signs that I feel, you know, for a long time there, they didn't want any extra spreads for you guys. The last couple of months they did, but now it's almost like, oh, well, they're back on course here. We gave them the information they needed. Now they're good. So here we go. This is the rune stone for you. 1st September. This is the rune stone of partnership. Is that the one that's not on my board? I always forget. There's one that's on here and there's one that's not for constraint and partnership. I don't see it, but it's a big X. Maybe I'm missing it. Yeah, it is here. There we go. Probably somewhere else too. Well, I'm missing it. We got one right here. As long as my incense stand doesn't block that, you can see that guy here. So we got partnership coming up for the runestone. So you and somebody else working together here. It could be romantic. It could be non-romantic. It really can go either way there. We did talk about partnership in the health corner with family. Family's a big theme for my Sagittarius is in the month of September, and partnership, like I said, could be romantic, could not be. We did talk about really good stuff in there for my single Sagittariuses, with the exception of spending money on partnership, but partnership comes in as a pretty big theme. So a pretty big window of opportunity there for you guys if you'd like to take advantage of it. Of course, you don't have to do that. Sometimes like people like to be single, and that's okay too. Being single gets you an opportunity to work on yourself. So either way, we got partnership coming in there, and that could also be, work partnership too, working with somebody one-on-one at work, more kind of group activities going on there. So that's going to conclude the entire reading, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out the Sunflower Potpourri, the Scott Sagent Sage Soap, which I actually had to reorder because we sold so many of them. So check out that stuff at the shop, guys. Shipping free all month long, really. And I'm going to check in with you guys in a few days here for your love readings. But until then, have a wonderful September.